Hey, how are you? Well, it's pouring out today. We've got a nor'easter, and I'm not stressing out because I just did some repairs on my roof a couple of weeks ago. And they weren't too bad, but roofs will leak. I think a good thing to know is where they will leak, potentially. And for the most part, it's usually in the valley where two roofs meet, or maybe where a roof meets a chimney and you have the flashing or a vent pipe. Often the flashing around the vent pipe or the seals will become dry rotted and cracked. And a real simple solution to fix most of your easy roof repairs is just a little roofing cement. So let me tell you first about the tools that you'll want to have at hand. First, your roofing cement. You can get this at any hardware store or home store. And you may need this too. This is a mesh that you can use if you actually have a tear in the roofing, and I'll go into this in a bit. But the next tool would be pick up at least one or two mixing sticks, paint mixing sticks. Get a spackle knife, but don't get a metal spackle knife like this. Get a plastic spackle knife, and I would pick up two of these too. You could get a 2-inch or a 3-inch. And throwaway brushes, I would pick up 2 or 3 of these. Also gloves, because this will definitely get on you and it sort of gets everywhere. These are just dishwashing gloves. And then some painter's tape, because you can really control this. It doesn't have to be a mesh. You can work with it neat and actually have it looking pretty good. So basically, I had to do some repairs to my roof a few years ago, and I just recognized that all the water tends to hit that valley, and there was a crack in the roofing in the valley, so I just taped up the valley and brushed away any dirt and debris, and then just put on a nice thick coat of the roofing cement. Now, as far as using this mesh, I guess maybe it was 2 years ago, or just 2 years ago, Hurricane Sandy came through here, and the roof on the barn had ripped. I'm going to get a piece of cardboard and show you what that looked like. So basically, the roof had just ripped in a very random kind of a rip. So how would you fix that? I'll bring the camera over and I'll show you. So I had about a 2.5, maybe a 3-foot section where the roll roofing on the top of the barn had ripped. It didn't blow off of the barn, it just had ripped away in a very jagged way, and the tar paper was still intact. So I painted on some of the roofing cement, put the roof back in place, and then nailed along the seam and put some more roofing cement over the tear, and then laid over some of the mesh cloth here and painted this in. And that's about 2 years ago, and I haven't had a problem since. And then about 2 weeks ago, I noticed that I had some dry rot around one of the vent pipes coming out of the roof. I was in the attic and I saw some light coming through just on the edge of the vent pipe. So I didn't have a leak, I didn't have a problem yet, but I just wanted to take care of it. And the simple solution there was to just paint some of the roofing cement around that gasket, and then I took the mesh, cut a hole in the mesh the same diameter as the pipe, slipped it over the pipe and painted that in, and I don't expect to have any problems. I would imagine that that'll buy me at least 2 or 3 years. And then when I was up there, I decided to put a little of the roofing cement in the other valley of the roof because it looked a little iffy, and better safe than sorry. So I just swept away any of the dirt and debris, leaves, things like that, and painted in a nice thick coat of the roofing cement. And I feel pretty good about it. So this stuff is really easy to use, and often it can save you from a lot of headaches. I hope the video was useful. Thanks for tuning in.